Recognize Umbral Walker D01. Recognize the Caleb G D02.
Hello, team. Welcome to 2017. Hope you had a great new year. Welcome back to the cave. I am your favorite sidekick, Caleb, and I've got Rich Howard with us. How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing good. Welcome, guys, to a brand new year.
I certainly hope all your old acquaintances were forgotten and forgiven, however that song goes. And we are here to say thank you and welcome to the new year. We have a lot going on this year, and we wanted to take a few minutes to drop a little bonus conversation to check in and let you all know what we are doing. So, Rich, we got some big stuff happening in 2017. Why don't you throw a little bit at the team here? Tell them what's going on.
Yeah, recently, I've said on the podcast a couple times that I have not picked up Rebirth yet. And I finally picked up Rebirth issue 1 and then picked up the first 3 of Nightwing and the first 3 of Aquaman. You have not read it yet?
Correct. I am very far behind on all comics, but do not let that stop you from chit-chatting about your Rebirth opinions.
Well, I was a little surprised, actually. I'm, like a lot of people, I'm pretty exhausted with DC reboots every few years. But I heard some great things about Rebirth from our listeners. Thank you, everyone. And so I went ahead and picked up Rebirth issue 1, and I was crying, man. The ending was amazing. I didn't, as I was reading it, I was just reading the story, right? I was just reading it as it was presented to me. But then I started listening to another podcast, which we will be dropping soon in a fan service called DC Comics Squadcast. And they do basically what we do. They do deep cut reviews of everything that's Rebirth. And in their first episode, they pointed out what it was that I was feeling, which was that they were planning on rebooting everything again after 52. And Jeff Johns was in on, I guess, the interview in which that was, being bantered around. And Jeff was like, no. What are you talking about? Don't do that. Let me sit on this for a little bit, and we'll see what I come up with. So what he came up with was, instead of rebooting everything and kicking out everybody who liked 52, they decided to fold everything together. So what I was reading was a spin-off or continuation of 52, but it had all the throwbacks and emotional punch and history and memory of the DC comics that I grew up with. I think Jeff Johns was really shooting for, there's a lot of heroism in DC comics. There's a lot of history and love and emotion in these characters. Why reboot these? There's nothing wrong with them. Let's just bring it into what you already have. And that's what I felt. There's this end scene with Wally and Barry, I guess in 52, which I didn't keep up with in the last, probably year. Wally's gone. He doesn't exist, or he was booted, or he dropped into the Speed Force. Something funky happened. And so in this particular case, he comes back. He's trying to come back. But there's an end scene with him and Barry that had me freaking in tears. It was everything I really wanted it to be.
That is great to hear. We all know how passionate you are about these stories, Rich. So hearing that the stories you are reading appeal to that passionate side of you is very, very encouraging to hear. I like New 52. When New 52 first came out, I was only just getting back into comics, and I was not the biggest fan. But I started reading some of it, and I started watching more of the DC animated movies that were heavily inspired by the New 52, and that kind of won me over. The movies won me over and encouraged me to get back into some of the comics, and I've picked them up. I am really bad about reading comics regularly, mostly because I'm just too broke to buy them every week. So a lot of times I want to wait until they come out in a trade paperback. Yeah. So I'm usually very behind on the stories, but I have been reading a lot of the articles about Rebirth. And I know that they are wrapping in a lot of the very far-reaching DC story arcs. They're bringing in some deep cuts.
Yeah.
I know specifically they're bringing in some Watchmen.
Yeah. They did, and I, of course, wasn't following some of the Rebirth stuff because I was like, another reboot. Okay, I don't know. Let's just focus on Young Justice. And when I saw what they were doing with the Watchmen bits, the opening page, actually, I'm like, this is echoey. All right, that's kind of sweet, like a little nod. No, it's not a nod. It also like harkens back to even some of the if you guys watch the Justice League Unlimited series, there was an episode where Kronos was messing with time, and they went back and Jon Stewart mentions there's a Green Lantern, basically origin of the universe mythology about this giant hand and its creation of the universe, blah blah blah. They're folding all that stuff in. It's great, like, to read it and know there are changes, like Batgirl in the Nightwing is the current Batgirl, so she's not Oracle. So it's still the new 52 Batgirl, but there's still all of this emotional memory and history that I could connect to as an old school reader, and I think hopefully Jeff Johns is doing his job as kind of the creative arrow behind this and folding it in so that someone like yourself who came back in with 52 isn't lost, and someone like myself can really feel the history. They even made nods to the Legion of Superheroes, which I, of course, have mentioned I grew up on. Not just grew up on, learned to read real words on. So there was an echo of that. There's Johnny Thunder and the Justice Society, who I guess is missing in the new 52 continuum. It's really good. Like, just pick up DC Rebirth 1, read it, see what you think, and then check out some of the other specific titles.
And, of course, we want to remind you all to listen in to the DC Comics Squadcast. We will link to them in the notes for this special bonus episode. They are a fantastic podcast. They've been really great to chat with about all of this. And just like us, they are digging into Rebirth like we dig into Young Justice. So if, like me, you can't always find the coin to buy the comic books, I think you can get some good Rebirth action from DC Comics Squadcast. Yeah. So be sure to check them out. Of course, the big thing to focus on for 2017 is Young Justice Season 3. We are recording this at the new year. Right now, there has not been any new information released. I believe the last time I heard something, they were discussing a fall release date for the series, but there has been nothing about what content platform it will be on. It will be something streaming, I am sure.
I'm sure, yeah. And the only thing that I've seen is, like, Brandon Vietti posted an enigmatic, a vague post of great meeting happening right now where we're discussing how we can mess with the Watchers. So we retweeted that and posted that as well, and we're all hurting so good.
Here's the real question, though. Is he being super meta and talking about us, the viewers, or is he referring to the actual Watchers within the context of DC?
Oh, I don't know.
Brandon, if you're listening, and I know you are, drop us a line if you want to. But yes, so that will continue to be the focus of our excitement. As new information is released and confirmed, we will absolutely be talking about that on our social media. We will also be doing short little bonus episodes like you are listening to right now. Guys, Rich and I are super, super busy. So peek behind the curtain. We record a lot of these episodes months in advance.
Yeah.
We are in real time here recording most of season 1 in a couple swoops. So when we are releasing these episodes, we've recorded them 3, 4, 5 months in the past. So the discussions we have on our actual review episodes cannot be timely we just don't have the time to get it done. So we decided going into 2017 that we are going to be dropping these little bonus episodes just occasionally, so you guys can hear some real-time conversation with us, and you guys can get some information as we know and confirm it. There is something else big happening in 2017, but we're not going to talk about that yet. I want to throw Rich a question here out of the blue.
Uh-oh. Look out.
Rich, there is another Justice League cartoon coming out this year, Justice League Action.
Uh-huh.
I have not yet asked you this question. What is your opinion on Justice League Action?
I have not seen Justice League Action yet.
No one has, because I think it's only overseas or weird releases. I don't think it's actually out on American television yet.
Oh, that's interesting, because I just haven't had the time to dig around for it. So I wasn't sure where it was being released or where I could find it. I knew I could get online and dig around and get some more info on it. I don't know. I hear some mixed reviews. I hear that it's I hear some people have said it's kind of the Teen Titans, old school Teen Titans version of Young Justice, not like full of silliness, but like just little snippets, not that kind of really great through line meta plot storyline of Justice League Unlimited or Young Justice. I mean, it might be a good patch. I mean, they need to have something out there, I suppose. I haven't seen anyone tell me this is an amazing, amazingly written, amazingly animated thing yet, a la Young Justice. But luckily, we're getting our season 3. I will definitely check it out once it's more readily available somewhere. What about you?
As I have said many times on this podcast, I like the pretty pictures and the bright colors. And Justice League Action has a lot of both of those. I really like the art style. I've watched some features out there online about...
I do too, actually. I agree with you on that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. There's obviously a very stylized, very specific feel they're going for with these character designs and the art. Mm-hmm. It's very different than what we have. It's not Young Justice, that's for sure. I personally see a little bit of an echo back to the Superman animated series, back to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Just some echoes, not a pure copy over, but there is some echoing, I think, in the jaw lines and in some of the action. They're bringing back some great voice talent for some of the main characters. I'm excited. I am never not excited about a superhero cartoon. I'm always thrilled to watch a new superhero cartoon. So I may not be the best judge, but I'm excited. I'm absolutely going to watch it. And, when it comes out and we can talk about it, maybe we'll have another chit chat and maybe we'll get some feedback from the listeners about what they think.
Yeah, I love it.
But all of that being said, we have one final thing to bring up today, and that is a specific announcement about our show in 2017. Rich, I will give you the honors. What's happening with Whelmed in 2017?
So we have decided that we are going to update our release schedule. So our review episodes will continue to be once a week, every Friday. Our bonus episodes are now going to also be every week. So at the moment, we're going to have every other week is going to be a Secret Origins episode, and every other week is going to be one of our discussion episodes. We are able to do this thanks to a new crew member. Neil Powell from the Dungeon Masters Block Podcast Network has come onto our team. You will hear him in just a week or two, I think. Maybe actually this week. I'm trying to remember. Is it this week? Do you remember?
It'll probably be the week after.
Week after. Then Neil's coming on to discuss the Young Justice video game and all of the revelations that has and where you can see all the cutscenes blended together and that kind of thing. I had not played it when we recorded this, and so I knew nothing. You will be hilariously entertained at my jaw-dropping, mind-blowing thing. So we're going to be doing every week. So every week you're going to get 2 episodes of Whelmed. Later on down the line, we're going to continue doing Secret Origins. We have tons of discussion sessions still planned. We have a dozen or so already recorded. We're also still planning on doing some actual play podcasts. We're talking to Magpie Games and the creator of Masks, the RPG, to see if they want to come on and do an actual play with us, playing Probably, I'm guessing Superboy and Robin, perhaps.
If they hand me any other character sheet, I will flip the table and walk out of the room.
I will be okay with Calder, but Nightwing it is, really. Yeah. So we'll get some actual plays recording as well. We're also been talking about doing reviews, of course, of the DC Animated Universe movies that have come out that you may or may not have seen, so you can find out if you want to track those down. And some of the ones recently have had some fantastic nods to Young Justice as well. So we have plenty of material coming in the next year, and I keep getting more and more ideas for more and more things. So you'll get 2 episodes of Whelmed per week. And that's it. That's our big announcement. Happy 2017, everyone.
There you go, guys. We will do our best to stick to alternating week schedules to give you guys all kinds of good stuff, the Secret Origins and the discussions. Some of the discussions might be multiple weeks because, as you all know, Rich can wax poetic at length. Ooh. So with some of the amazing guests we are bringing on for you in 2017, we might have some double discussion episodes. We might have them over a couple weeks. We might take a little bit of a break from the discussion in Secret Origins to drop some actual play episodes on you. We will update everyone on our social media, on our Twitter, on our Facebook, to let you know what is happening and what is coming. Of course, our website, crashingthemode.com, where the podcast can be found. We will update that as well, so you will see in the little announcement bar at the top of the page what is coming up and what to expect. Of course, you can also find us on iTunes, and if you would be so kind, we do love those 5-star reviews and ratings. It's always fun to listen to and read, and we appreciate it a lot because, as you all know, in the podcast world, the more reviews a podcast has and the more 5-star ratings it gets, the easier it is for other people to find it. So we appreciate everything you all have done so far. Thank you so much for listening, for your love, support, for your communication with us online. You know what? I think we need to head out of the cave here because we've got a couple missions to get set up for today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Alrighty, everybody. We will talk to you again soon. And you know what? I'm going to take it from you today, Rich. Stay whelmed. You've been listening to Whelmed, the Young Justice Files podcast. Our computer is voiced by Madison Ray. Our theme was composed by Emily Mio. Our logo was created by Kevin Bates. Whelmed is a fan-made podcast and is not officially affiliated with DC Comics, DC Entertainment, Warner Brothers Animation, and any other owners of Young Justice or its related source material. As such, these companies have sole ownership of all symbols, images, names, logos, and proprietary material related to Young Justice. Original content of this podcast is ours under Creative Commons. Thanks for listening, and stay whelmed.